Okay, so I don't want us to take too much of our guest speaker's time because I know that she has another engagement today. I know that more people are also going to join. So I think it's best for us to just begin and then when they join, they're able to also be part of this. So like I mentioned before, you're at the right place. This is the business conversation series webinar. Um, this is the Business Conversation Series webinar. And basically, this is one way for our company, EdgeEcution, to give back. My name is Immaculate Steve-Igbodo or Immaculate Steve Harris, depending on which part of my surname you know. And I'm the COO of EdgeEcution. And this is basically to help people, both employers and employee, learn or get new knowledge that will help them or be beneficial to them in seasons or in their work life, in their career. Basically, what we want to do is to help people improve their businesses and help employees improve their chances of becoming better professionals at their work. So once again, welcome. I know we have a few people here, so it would be nice if you could say where your name and where you're calling or where you're watching from, and so that we can properly welcome you. But today we're going to do things a bit different. Usually we'll have a bit of a networking session, just a bit at the beginning, but because of course our coach is busy this time, we want to make sure that we maximize her presence here. So we're going to take things a little different. We'll start the conversation series first, and then we would have our networking at the end of the event instead of, some before and some at the end. So, EdgeEcution is a training, coaching, and manpower development company based in Nigeria. We have new sister companies in the US. EdgeEcution basically helps people to put an edge in their business. So, if you're an employee, what it helps you do is first, it helps you learn ways where you stand apart from other colleagues or other peers. And if you're a business, it helps you improve on your business structure, improve on your business skills where you're able to get more profit and all of that. So basically, what we're here to do is to put an edge to you as an individual and to your business. MD Steve Harris is supposed to be here. We're hoping that he's able to join. He's in transit right now, so I can't guarantee when he would have some time to join, but we're hoping that when he gets that time, he's able to join us. But look, you've got me and you're in safe hands. So let's try to enjoy and have a very interactive conversation. Today we have especially, and I want to recognize our business development manager, Antonia. She's working at the back on the back end today, so she'll probably be interacting with you in the chat. I just wanted to acknowledge her presence here. Okay, so like I mentioned, we have our special guest today. Her name is, I think we should have her picture up in a second. So, Tonya, where are you? Can you please put up Nneka's picture? Okay, okay, okay. So while we wait for Tonya to put up her picture, her name is Nnneka Jethro-Iruoebe. I hope I called the surname well. Forgive me if I didn't. She's an associate director with a professional service firm in Lagos, Nigeria. As an expert HR professional, she's enjoyed her work and career of about 15 years in one of the most challenging environments and has thrived. She's happily married, product of office romance, and combines marriage, motherhood, ministry, and money making in this adventurous journey of life. She's the author of 5 books, including the best selling Find It Bible Games and other 10,000 and over 10,000 copies sold, as well as her career defining books, While Your Boss Prefers Your Colleague, who is using your salary and who you should know to succeed at work. Neka believes that employees deserve to be happy at work, especially because employees spend upwards of 70% of their waking hours at and around work, and happiness at and with work is essential to mental well-being and productivity. Neka believes that the principles to be happy at work are universal and can be learned. She loves to share these principles via IG live sessions, seminars, webinars like this, and at company events. She advocates that career professionals must be deliberate about building respectful and rewarding relationships with their bosses through proven frameworks and strategies while being intentional about maximizing and leveraging the salaries for the highest returns. Neka loves to cook, swim, create word games, and teach or counsel others. She creates puzzles on IG at Find It Bible Games. Neka can be reached on Instagram at the Happy Employee Code, or you can send her an email at Nneka Jethro-Iruoebe at gmail.com. Guys, please join me and welcome our amazing guest speaker today. Look, she is so busy, but somehow God's favor just, let her say, she's going to be here today. And you're in good hands because first, she's a coach and then she's an employee. So she's been at both sides and she understands what it is, what you could be going through as a business owner, what you could be going through as an employee, what is the best thing you need to do at this moment. So thank you again for being here. And, let's welcome Nneka as she takes us through this webinar topic, leading highly effective teams amid economic crunch. And believe me, we in one way or the other, we're all feeling the crunch. So this will be really good for each and every one of us to learn. Guys, if you don't have your notepads and pen, please get one now and jot. I'll be jotting too. So Neka, over to you and welcome.
Thank you so much, Emma. I mean, I put up a post this afternoon on Instagram to say that I'm uber excited to be here this afternoon. I don't take it for granted at all. I already had two speaking engagements for today, but when Tonya reached out, I was like, no, this one I can I don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to happen. In fact, I asked her, I said, can we move it to another month? I said, can we move it forward in the day? She said, no, this was the time. I was like, you know what? This one, no. There's no way a no is coming. In fact, a
Mhm.
friend of mine reached out and I was like, babe, forget this other your own I can't do. I have one that I must do for this is
Thank you. Thank
priority
you.
number one. This is paramount. I can't say no
Oh
to this.
my.
So for me, I'm honestly very excited and I do feel very honored, to be on to share this platform, and
Thank
just have
you.
access to your people and just share my thoughts on certain key things. Like you
Thank
said,
you.
I'm both an employee and a business person, right? Interestingly, 2 days ago, we are having a management meeting at work and we discussed some things. And I said, if they sort out this particular issue for me, I will just enter the street and just in marketing. And then a senior colleague says, are you sure Neka is in the right career? And I laughed because I have got clients who have said to me, you are a marketing person at the core of who you are, So I'm both a business person and I'm an employee at the same time. And I think the times that we are in are really, really interesting times. They are really interesting times. It's a lot that is going on. It's a lot. Everybody's going. You know how that video that said we're all going through a lot. We're coming from a lot. There's a lot ahead of us. There's just a lot happening. The parts are moving so quickly. I shared a story yesterday. My domestic staff, went to get some things for the house, and then usually I'll transfer to the supermarket. So we agree the list. She goes, then let me the bill. I'll transfer. Then they come back home. When she sent the amount, I called. What kind of nonsense is this? I've told you not to buy anything that's not on the list. I have told you several times. Don't buy anything that's not on the list. Only stick with what is on the list. And I was going on, and the girl, she was like, Ma, I did not add anything, no. I didn't add anything. It's the thing that we agreed on the list that we've been buying month in, month out that is there. And so the reality is the economy we live in is interesting. But I think that what's really important as we go through today's session is I have a short time with us this afternoon. I really would have loved it to be longer so I could answer questions. But I want to ask that you pay close attention. And I say this because while we're complaining about the economy, there are opportunities as well, right? And there are mindset shifts that need to happen, okay, to make things smoother for everyone. I'm not necessarily saying easier as such, but smoother and allow you to thrive, not necessarily survive. Okay, so I'd like you this afternoon to just pay attention as I go through. Ima had asked earlier, so it'll be good if you just drop in the chats, where you are joining from, and coach, good afternoon. I see you. I saw you when you joined. Good afternoon. Um, Nice again to be here with you this afternoon. So please drop where you're joining from, just so that we also keep track of that. For time's sake, I am not going to spend much time on that. I have to move. I have worked for 15 years now in the HR space. I have a personal interest in people, helping people to thrive. I consider myself as someone as on a mission to create more happy employees, because happy employees translate to happier families. And many people, as employees, kind of just feel like being an employee is a bad thing. And in fact, when I'm asked to talk about being an employee, the first thing I deal with is that mindset, right? There is nothing wrong with being an employee, absolutely nothing wrong. Many of the people who you see thriving and succeeding in their businesses started first as being employees. In our Nigerian landscape, call the names, you would see them. Many of them were employees at first. So I'm passionate about this. And so even in addition to my 9 to 5, which is actually maybe 9 to 9, I keep at it, trying to do what I can to teach as many people as possible. I'm a wife to 3 kids and not counting. I've published some books. The three that really are critical for employees are: who is using your salary, why your boss prefers your colleague, and who you should know to succeed at work. Why your boss prefers your colleague has been rumored to help people secure promotions. So if you are interested in securing a promotion, I can't count how many DMs I've gotten. People will screenshot promotion list and send it to me. People will call me. I remember someone sending me a message very early in the morning, 4 a.m. Ma, next to God is you that helped me get this promotion. And it's a very simple book where I teach you how to position yourself at work. Many of us struggle with the difference between eye service and being political at work. People say, "Oh, you don't shouldn't know politics at work." Some people say, "It's not eye service." See, this book will help you, right? Very simply, man looks at the outward; it's God that looks at the heart, and many of us struggle with making that difference. Very simply, I'll drop it here for you. The difference between eye service and trying to play politics is the intention of your heart. Are you just doing it to be seen? Are you doing it to actually add value? That's a major difference. I mean, if you leave me, I can go there and just break it down for you, but that's not our focus today. Get the book. Simple 5 points that I had a friend who said to me, Neka, if I'd seen this before, I wouldn't have lost my job. She was hired into a job. While she was on the job, they hired somebody else into the same role after about a year. Yes, and into the same role. And that means the handwriting was on the wall. It was clear. You are not delivering, pack your bag and go. So sometimes we're not communicating our value well enough. But let's move. My why, a part of my story, I'm talking about leading teams. So today's session, I'm going to split it in two halves. First, leading teams, and then the economic crunch. Okay, so the first part talking about leading teams. My why, in 2019, I almost lost my job. And why? Thanks to an employer engagement survey, my team members reported me as being a bad boss and someone who was lazy, who everybody on ahead, the senior people were partial towards, and how I could get anything I wanted from the boss, how I was by that time there was nothing like COVID, but I was already working flexi for like 2 3 years because I was living very far. My office is in VI, I live in Amuwo First Stack, so I was able to speak with my boss to say, see, I can't show up every time, and the comments were really not good, and I was forced. I asked myself, should I resign or should I stay? Following certain consultations with certain senior colleagues, senior friends in the firm, I was advised to engage with my team members, and then I began to realize that the things I took for granted, i.e., I could speak to my boss if they did something I didn't think was okay. I knew that I needed to calm myself down first and go with facts. I knew that if I wanted something to be done, I needed to sell it to them in a way that was advancing the team goals and advancing the team dreams and advancing their own desires. I knew all those things, but those things I thought everybody knew them. So people wouldn't speak up and will be struggling with work. And I'm like, if I cannot do the work, I'll go to the organ and say, Oga, see, XYZ reason is why. I wouldn't just say, no, I cannot. I would explain to you why. And that was actually what unlocked me to start teaching about being a happy employee at work. That's exactly the story. It was this problem point, and that made me realize a lot of employees were struggling. And because of this, I literally started teaching this. Why is this important to mention? Sometimes we find that as leaders, we seem to be locked in ourselves and our own journeys. We're not really fully aware of what our teams are going through. Sometimes we forget what it was like to be an entry level person. We forget what it was like to struggle through certain things. Sometimes our backgrounds have empowered us, and I say this with all sorts of appreciation for my parents, right? Teaching me how to speak up. Our backgrounds are different, such that some of us were empowered already at growing up, but others weren't. And so they come into the workspace with that mindset of we can't talk, we can't speak up, it's what they say here that we do. And so they continue to feel frustrated and take out that frustration on the work. So you must be intentional about being self-aware as a leader, and we'll talk about it as we progress. My bosses were confused. Why? Because I was the stellar employee, delivering the results, showing up, going over and beyond. So why? And like I said, and as I engaged, I found out that a lot of people didn't know how to engage with their bosses, didn't understand. In fact, someone went as far as saying I work in a consulting firm, that they were partial to me in the kind of projects I was given. I was given easy projects to do, right? And not difficult projects to do. And then I had to ask the person, you and I worked on this project. Did the client not report me to the partner? The person was like, that's true. So if we were choosing projects, should I have chosen that? Would I have decided to go through that? So it's something that I think that a lot of people struggle with. And as a leader, you must be aware. And I'm talking to us as leaders today, those who are leaders and those who are employees as well, both in your role as a leader and as an employee. So in listening to me, please pick what is relevant for your role as a leader and what is relevant for your role as an employee, right? Pick out both of them, okay, as you listen to me. So like I said, we'll do this in two parts. First, leadership. Okay, we'll talk about leadership, your role as a leader, and then we'll then go on to talk about money, right? Very important. Money. I think one of the first things that is demanded of every leader is clarity on where we are going as a team. Where are we going as a leader? And even if you are not a leader on this call, right, ask yourself, as an employee, as a team member, do you know where the team is going? Do you know where your boss is going? Let me just drop this here to help you as an employee. And even as a leader, you're reporting to somebody. The only reason when I ask this question in webinars, I ask, and maybe I should, I don't have the time. Let me rough it. Let me ask. If you're an employee on this call, right, why were you hired? You can drop it in the chat or you can raise your hand and talk. You're an employee on this call. Why were you hired? Why were you hired? And I know I can see one or some of my people who know me before, but I don't want to hear you talk because you already know what I would say. So let me hear from why were you hired? You're an employee on this call. Why do you think you were? Why do you think you got the job you got? Why do you think you got the job you got? Anyone, any takers? Are you writing? Do you want to speak? Why do you think you got the job you have today? I ask this question whenever I have to talk to employees from the perspective of their mindset about being an employee. I ask this question and I really get interesting answers, right? So I want to just test it out this afternoon. Because they needed your skills to make money for the organization. Thank you, coach. Great. Okay. So usually when I ask this question, I get to add value to the organization, hired because of your skills. Those things are true. The way I see it is that I was hired to make my boss's life easier. If the company did not think that my boss needed me, they wouldn't have hired me. I remember, okay, to solve problem in my role. All those things are nice and they're true, but frankly, regardless of the title on your card, the reason you were hired is to make your boss's life easier. And I say this because I realize that if you approach work from this perspective, it changes how you show up at work. It changes how you assess feedback from your boss because you are hired to make that person succeed better. That's the core reason you were hired, to make that person succeed better. Okay, so let's bear that in mind. As a leader and as an employee, you need to know, where are we going? Where are we going? Right? Where are we going as a team? What are the numbers? What do we want to achieve? Why are we here? Where are we going? So your role as a team lead is to communicate the vision. If you are a business owner on this call, do your people know exactly what you're trying to build? And many times that may change form, right? But I came across, or I've just recently come across Simon Sinek's book on why. Start with why. I've encountered him, but I've not really opened the book at all. And I started reading it recently, and I realized that when people believe that what you're doing is of importance, or what they are doing is of importance, they show up differently. They show up differently. So where are we going? What's the vision of the business? And not something that you can say once and think it's all done. More importantly, in the times that we are in, people are distracted. People are at work, but they are not present. They are worrying about, anybody that has children, school fees that came after this announcement of petrol in Nigeria alone. The school fees, when I saw it, Yoruba say Momi Kale. I say, you say, what's happening? Studying permutation and combination, start calculating what will have to drop, what will go. So you more so now, and I believe that you need to be sure, okay, of the value and where you people are going. What's the vision? What's the vision? What are we doing? What are we doing as a people? You need to communicate it. If you are communicating it maybe quarterly before, you need to do more now. People are distracted. People are pained. People are tired. People are overwhelmed. My goodness, even without this economic crunch, social media alone, the pressure there, the what's going on, there's just a lot going on. Okay? Now, as a team leader, you're supposed to be an ambassador. You're supposed to embody the vision. So it's one thing to communicate, it's another thing to embody it. You're supposed to embody the vision. Where are we going? You are supposed to embody it. Are you an embodiment of that division? Of that vision? Is it clear where we are going? When I look at you, do I believe in this thing that you are saying we want to do? Do I see possibilities with you? Do you understand? So it's really, really important that you are that person. As a team leader, you're supposed to empower your team. Show them how you are changing the world. But one thing I think is so critical is to build trust in these times. Building trust by vulnerability. Opening up. My boss did something recently. I've been in the firm for 15 years. No, not at no point in my time has any partner said, "Oh, come, you guys see the numbers, see how much we have to pay our salaries and all that." My boss did something last week at the management for the management team. He shared the numbers. This is a salary that we've said we want to increase salary, Abby. So to sustain this salary, this is how much we need to make. And I could see the air in the room change because people are like, okay. And people even said it now when they are chasing us for timeline and targets. We know that if salary is going to be paid at the end of the month, then the money's got to come in. You got to create trust. Create trust. Create trust. Create trust. Be vulnerable. Be open. Be intentional about these things. In these times, people need to have a sense of, okay, we are in this together. But what are we in together? Which is why I said, where are we going? What are we in together? All right? Do you know yourself? I think that more than ever, emotional intelligence is critical in these times. I think that more than ever, emotional intelligence is critical in these times. And one of the critical aspects of emotional intelligence is knowing yourself as a leader, even as an employee. Funny situation. My team members, I had to tell them clearly because I realized there was no point keeping it to myself. Once you send me a report to review, the first thing I look at is the number of slides. Forgive me, this sounds weird, but I know myself enough to know that it's important to me. And since it's not harming anybody's life, I accept it as my reality. I like even numbered slides or number of slides that can be divided by 5. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Forgive me. So once you send me a report, that's the first thing I'm going to try and figure out. If you send me 59 slides, I want to make it 60, or drop it to 55. Is where my mind goes. So what did I do? I told my team, they're sending me reports. How many slides is it? It's funny, it's weird, but I realized that when it's a round number, I just feel better. So sometimes when they give me stuff, I sit there trying to make sure I can expand the details, add more text, add more, just so that I can reduce number of slides before I start reviewing. Now, this is me that is self-aware. On this, I'm 100% self-aware, obviously. But what I then realize is, as I teach people, that sometimes as leaders, there are things that are pet peeves to us that we're not even aware that's even annoying us. I'll give you another example. If you want to say hello to me, I'd rather you say hello than say morning. What's morning? Is it good morning or afternoon? What's afternoon? Are you telling me the time of day? And I realized I changed units, I would say 3 years ago, I think. And some team members do, oh, morning, Nnneka. I'm like, I tried. After a few days, I said, please, either type good morning or say hi or hello. Don't type morning. So imagine that you are not self-aware enough, right? What then happens is that someone sends a message to you, you're already angry with the person without even knowing why. You're already angry with the person without even knowing why. Okay? So you need to be self-aware as a leader. What's your preferred time of working? And even as a team member, what time are you the most productive? What's your preferred mode of communication? I tell my team every time, send me an email, send me a chat. I still want to jump on a call and have a conversation. Because when I speak with you, I get clarity. I can understand better what you're saying. Sometimes I say, we are working hybrid in my office. Some days we are working from home and I'm like, are you video ready? Let's turn on video and have this conversation. Because I believe, like Yoruba say, Ojulo or what, sometimes some things are best said when we are seeing each other. Okay? So I say this to you to say this afternoon. You must be self-aware. More than ever, you need to be aware of yourself before you can even be aware of others. What are your biases? What are the things you struggle with? What are your biases that you have to have control over when you're dealing with somebody? So I have to know personally that when you send me slides and it's an odd number, I will not necessarily answer you and blame you for that odd number of slides. I need to be aware enough to say, okay, how do I deal with it? Right? What are your biases? Know yourself. What's your life outside work? What are the things that are important to you? I met one of my colleagues recently, and the person was saying to me, see, Nneka, life outside work. Anything you say you want to do outside your 9 to 5, start doing it now. Many of us are missing out on life, thinking that life is coming another time. You are living the life now. How are you showing up? As a leader, you need to do this for yourself and for your team. My team members know, for example, that midweek service is important to me. So they feel comfortable telling me, oh, Nneka, this evening I'm going for midweek service. So I'm like, okay, let's wrap up and hit the road. What are the things that are important to you? Okay, so that's number one. Still under leadership. The second thing under leadership I want to talk about this afternoon is how are we doing? Which speaks to how are we performing as a business. In these times, your people need to understand how the business is doing. This is not the time to shroud things. I'm not saying necessarily, oh, tell them what your profit margin is and all that. I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm saying is that communication needs to be intensified. You need to 3x communication in these times. You need to 3x communication in these times. Provide feedback, share the victory stories. Don't take the glory for something that your team members have done. You want to keep them in, you want to keep them contributing. Don't take the glory for what it is that they are contributing. Don't do that. You want people to stay with you and work with you, please, please, and please communicate. Okay, someone is asking about private sector and public sector. I think the way I'm approaching this is about life, really, and about life in the workplace. Whether it's public sector or private sector, the difference in public sector would be if you have certain specific questions around dealing with people in the public sector in terms of the work relationships. There'll be nuances around that because of how people show up there. Okay. But these are principles about, so even if you're in your public sector, what's the vision for the unit? Now, someone will say, We're just going to work every day and showing up. Well, do you want to be the difference? Do you want to be that difference? Are you there to really serve? Oh, you're in this ministry, nothing is going on there, you're just signing papers. Well, you can't create value from that signing papers that you're signing papers. You can't create value, right? You can show people the future, you can show people a better way of living. So while there may be some things that you may say, in Nigerian public sector may not work 100%. Oh, is there vision, is there communication? It may not work. But first of all, for example, things around giving feedback that we're talking about here, some of us in public sector struggle with just using feedback as a punishment tool. It's almost like a punishment tool. So again, there are nuances, right? And what would help is if you have specific questions based on what I've said that you can then ask, then I can provide my perspective to those questions in the light of public sector operations, right? So I hope that helps. Okay. How are we doing? Back to that. Share the victories. In this time more than ever, you want to keep people contributing. Let them know that they're adding value. Let them know. Say it more often than you used to. Tell them how they're adding value. Tell them how they are contributing. Tell them what they are doing, what they've done that you like. I remember a team member that I used to complain to my husband about. Man, this guy who will write this, who will write that. And recently the guy started writing. My son was like, don't be telling me, tell him. I don't want to tell him, send him a message and tell him how well he's doing, how much you. So you've got to be intentional now more than ever. One of the things that Faladeroche says, FD says, is as a leader, you're raising other leaders. So as a leader in that team, in that office, how are you raised? Are you intentionally teaching people what you know? Hey, don't be that leader that you know something, you don't want them to know it. Yeah. And you want to keep them. Don't be that business owner that you don't. Yes, some people will stay, some people will go. I still had someone that came to me last week. I've poured out a lot into the guy, thought, and he said he's leaving. And I'm like, I felt bad. Then I said, well, the one I taught him, he has used it to benefit me. Okay. Do you understand? An interesting story. Earlier, was it last month? Someone that had trained on how to do something in particular went to take a job in a competitor company and was replicating exactly what I had done there. And I heard, yes, I heard from somebody else. But guess what? And forgive me if this doesn't come off in the way you want it. But I'm a person of faith, I'm a Christian. So I was like, okay, the sky is big for all of us to fly. It's fine. You're replicating it, right? Something that typically will bill for, the person was giving it literally free of charge, right? But guess what? I had built such strong relationships in that space that even the people that were supposed to take it free of charge, they said no. They were going to pay. They chose to pay me. So, but you approach certain things from the sky is big enough. Okay, the sky is, so don't hold back as a leader. I am not saying now that, you should, because some people are wicked. Let's not lie. Some people are wicked. They come, they join your business. And I'm saying this because I know there's a mix of audience here. They are business owners, they are workers. They join your business for the sole purpose of taking you down. That's different. But the ideas you will use to stand out in the marketplace, especially for me as a person of a Christian, come from God. So I will go back to him and I will say, God, how I want to do this thing, now how I want to run now. And he will say, do this. There are times I've lost bids to certain people, and some of them I move on. Some I'm like, no, I don't want to move on. God, I'm not happy that I lost this bid. And he would say, do this, do that, and I will make that money back for the business. So when you are so focused on holding, sometimes, and again, they say, is it the Dead Sea they say that doesn't flow out, and because it doesn't flow out, it stinks, right? It's salty rather. Okay, so you've got to be intentional about teaching your team. If you are in a private sector situation, teach people what you know. You can only go as far and rise as far as a leader as your team is strong. And I find personally from experience that the more I teach, the better I get at what I think I know. The more I teach, the better I get at what I think I know. That's the truth. So, how are we doing? Provide feedback. How's the team doing? Okay? How's the team doing? Are you engaging with people? Do you know how they are doing one on one? How are you connecting with them? The third thing I want to talk about now for as a leader is to show your team what's in it for them. Everybody shows up at work. The reason they took that contract, the reason they signed that contract, that employment letter, was because they're going to earn a salary. And they believe that the salary will be good enough for them. But trust me, 3 months after collecting that letter, salary is no longer good. It happens to all of us. Salary is no longer enough. We are now upset. We are not happy. Right? So please, your employees want to know what's in it for them. And there are a couple of things I would like you to talk about when you talk about what's in it for them. The skills that they're exposed to. Be intentional about exposing your people to new skills. Be intentional about it. Provide those learning opportunities. Expose them to new skills, right? You have a finance team, you have someone in HR. Can a person in finance also learn what's in HR? And you as an employee, there are loads of skills you can learn. For example, I remember writing my first book, Find It Bible Games. Find it, it's in the Bible. It's a book of puzzles and poems. And one of the things I can tell you for free is that the writing skills that I had used over and over at work came to bear, not just in that book, but in other books I've written. The marketing skills as a consultant I was required to build came to bear there as well. The pay is something that's in it for them, right? The brand as well. Can they build their own brand while they are with you? Are you allowing them to build their own brand while they are with you? As long as there's no conflict of interest. And you, as an employee on this call, don't build a brand that puts you in a place of conflict of interest. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. For me, it's very dishonorable to do that. Okay? Don't do that. Let there be career opportunities. Show your people that there are career opportunities for them to grow. Show them. I mean, like my bio said, I met my husband at work. We've been married 12 plus years now. But I've made other friends, right, who I've continued to be friends with years after. Okay. So you as an employee in the workplace, be a human being at work. Ah, many of us say we want be as a leader, you'll be a human being. We show up at work like, I'm here to work. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't know what you talk to me. Nobody don't do like that. When I say to people that have sold 10,000 copies plus of my book, Find It Bible Games, if I, let me know exactly, let me be conservative. 60% plus, 70% each of those sales came through colleagues. I'm telling you the truth. Somebody telling their elder sister, oh, go and buy this book for party pack. Somebody, telling their church, come and buy from her. Somebody buying for their church. So if you're not human at work, as a leader, you need this more. That's why I talk about trust. Be a human being, as in, be a human being. Be a human being. Now, don't just be a human being. Okay? Be a human being. All right. So tell me, how is this going so far? Let me know in the comments. How is this going so far? Is this making sense? Are you getting value? Are you getting value? Are you getting value? Are you getting value? Let's know. Let's know. I want to talk about money now. Somebody's there's a song, I don't know who sang Sha, but they said Dangote still they find money. Is there anybody that is not getting money? That doesn't want money? Anybody that doesn't want more money? We all want more money. So let's talk about money. Right. While we're at it, look for me on LinkedIn, Nnneka Jethro-Iruoebe, and follow me. And on Instagram, although I'm doing a bit less on Instagram these days, I think I'm moving more to LinkedIn, writing there sometimes twice a day, but mostly once a day, been writing, and just sharing with people. So I shared my story, my origin story, so to speak, for the Happy Employee brand. Last year, I found out that a lot of employees struggle with money. Last year, November, by complete serendipity, I found out that a lot of employees struggle with money. And so I started teaching about it, and the response has been shocking. I was shocked to find that it's only 1 in 3 employees that can account for what they have used their salary to do for the last month or two. I was surprised. Many people don't keep records, and the annoying thing, people will blame their employer for their own failures in handling their money right. That's human nature. We always deflect. It's human nature. It's because they did not pay me well, they pay me more. But they increase the salary. When they increase it, you still went ahead and continued your spending spree. You worsened it. Your habits worsened, right? So let's talk about this. What are our realities today? Inflation is flying. Oh, hey, I just told you my story when I started now. I sent someone to my domestic staff. and we agreed the list. When she came back, I was upset. I was shouting, "Why did you spend more money than I say you should spend?" And then I realized she didn't buy anything. No, not that what was in the list. I was looking at the price of insecticide. Not to joke, but I'm like, mosquito. Hey, hey, I'm sorry, but honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it's not funny. Oh. Inflation is flying, bills are rising, but there are opportunities, and this is the knowledge economy. There are opportunities. There are opportunities. This year, I have been paid to speak at different kinds of sessions, right? I've had a bank reach out to me to come and run a 3 month session teaching their employees about their finances. And the feedback has been shocking. You know, a lot of people are not, we're not money trained in Nigeria. Oh. Even me, I don't even think I'm money trained. But the small one I know, the way people are talking about it and saying, hey, this thing you're saying, we did not know. I'm talking basic things like, to me, basic, right? Like, who are you following on Instagram? And I'm running a 15-day challenge where I'm going to teach people this. Who are you following on Instagram? See, I don't like going to markets to shop. Because of time, I will not follow the slides fully from here. I'll just share from my heart going forward. But I don't like going to markets. I buy a lot of things online, but I don't follow the pages I buy from. When I know I want a dress, I will go and look for the page where I want to buy dress from and buy. I don't follow. When I want to buy wig, which doesn't happen so often, anyways, I will go and look for the page I want to buy a wig from. So I find that there's some basic principles of things that you can do to help your team and help yourself first in these economic times. And those are some things I want to be sharing with you this afternoon, very, very quickly. All right. Family demands are not reducing. Hmm. I want to go live tomorrow, even talk about this one, managing family demands on your small salary. I hope I pull through with it with the way I'm feeling now. But I want to talk about that one because family demands will not reduce. So they are increasing in this time. So that's the reality. Inflation is flying. There are opportunities though. So as a leader, your people have opportunities. I have someone who resigned to travel from my team, and turns out that the company either said they no longer could afford to bring his family across and all of that, and they said, okay, he'll work remotely. I was like, okay, chief, since they did not follow through with their promise, won't you come back? He said, no, he's earning his dollars from home. He's not going there. He's not coming back to join me. Do you understand? So the opportunities are bound. So that's the reality of the mix that we are dealing with. So what should you do? Empathy, first of all, as a leader. Be real. Don't put your head in the sand and pretend like the realities don't exist. People are going through a lot. Let's acknowledge it. People are going through a lot. Share with your team how you are saving money. If you can, pursue hybrid work. Pursue hybrid work. And then people ask question around monitoring hybrid work. It requires a lot more effort, but you've got to do that so that people can save costs, okay? And then they're able to still show up at work. All right. So you've got to try and be real with people, be empathetic, consider hybrid work. And then as you're here on this call, how are you going to turn your passion into money? The internet provides an endless stream of opportunities for you to make money. When the particular bank I was referencing reached out to me, the person that recommended me said, "Oh, share your social media handle. My head HR director wants to go through." That was the profile they asked for. They didn't ask to send me my profile. They just said share social media handles, and they went through and they came back and said, "Yes, we are good to go." We started negotiating. I had to reach out to Jimmy Tewe, to say, sir, see what these people are saying, to guide me through it. But really, the truth is, the opportunities are abound. Okay, and this is my last slide. As a leader here, um, you've got to provide financial education for your team, and you yourself as well get financial education. Um, I'm in doing a bit of a mini tour where I'm talking to heads of HR and team leads and all opportunities that I get. I say to them, be intentional about teaching people about money. We are not money trained in Nigeria. To be honest, many of us show up at work thinking those people, referring to the boss, have plenty money. They should give me money. They should pay me. We have a disconnect between how money is created and how we get paid. We are not money trained in this, and it's something I'm maybe too passionate about, but it's something I think that needs to be done. Get financial education for your people. Do you understand that money is currency? As in the type of currency of naked wire, don't put your hand on it. The type of currency at your transformer. Money can carry you, they go where you don't know. If you don't put a leash on money on time, money will take you where you don't want it to take you to. And money stays where it is respected. This one I can say here for the next 1 hour. Talking about money and how you need to harness it. Provide financial education for yourself and for your team. Budgeting is a superpower. Budgeting is a superpower. I have a free budget template that you can access. It's a superpower. Just go and get it. I have. I'll drop the link. It's simply tell. It has over 15 expense items. It provides you explanation for the various expense items. It provides you percentages to use as a guide. You can audit yourself and say, how am I doing? It is not how much it's not how much you earn that matters, it's how much you retain. It's not how much you earn that matters, it's how much you retain. Okay? And peer pressure is not always bad. There's a kind of peer pressure that you will have that will help you to spend money like someone that has sense. On this matter of money, I can go on and on about it, right? But I want us to also go to our Q&A. I hope that this has made sense for you this afternoon. I hope you found value this afternoon. I want to take questions. I hope you found value. I want to take questions at this point.
EP, Nneka, this has been really, 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 really. See my notes. Like I've been taking notes. Like the thing is, when it comes to this economic crunch, for a lot of people is the first time that they're experiencing it as bad as it is. Maybe our parents experienced it before now, but this is the first time. So people are very confused. So for instance, for a manager who is their first time of dealing with this type of situation, what would be your simplest advice to them, like the first thing that they should do when they're faced with this kind of situation?
I think the first thing is really to get education, to be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is, what are you looking at? What are you paying attention to?
Mm,
I said to my
yeah.
team recently that this is the time to get so close to your clients that they don't give you a job, they feel bad.
Mm, that's good. Yeah.
You need to be invested in your client contacts. As a business person, it's something you must layer on. You must be intentional about being human with your clients. And it's as simple as you hear somebody's name. What's the meaning of your name? Trying
Mm,
to make a personal connection beyond the work. I work in a big four. The tendency is to show up like I am all that. I
mm-hmm.
don't do that. And I tell my team, don't show up like you are all that. Show up like a human being. You pick the phone and someone sounds off on the phone. I remember a particular client contact calling me to ask me about a project another unit was doing. And she said, that she told them that until she talks to me. My mind, I'm like, am I
Wow.
that's important to you? Oh, really? What happened? One day I called her. This is someone that, some people, when you call them on the phone, they really sound off, professional and this. And then she sounded funny. So I said, oh, are you okay? Are you fine? You sound off. He's a senior person in the legal practice,
Mm-hmm.
so he's not even a. I said, oh yeah, my back hurts a bit. I said, oh okay. When I've had back pain, I find that stretching out, standing against the wall and stretching out helps. I was like, okay, she was going to try that. Next thing she calls and says, oh, that she wants to negotiate with me. Something I have to call the team. That what's this work about? I have no clue what this is about. Be human. Like I said to you, 70% at the least of my sales in book, and that's not my core work, came from client contact and people in my office. People
Yeah.
who I would tell I wrote a book. You wrote a book, bring it. I want to buy it.
Yeah.
So that's the first
Good.
thing. Get education and get close and empower your teams. What I do, for example, as a business person, is when I'm on
Mm-hmm.
the phone with clients on Teams, my team is on the other side where we're working virtually. And
Yeah.
I'm saying, listen, so that you can learn how to build those connections.
Mm,
So relationships will be a big deal in these times. There will
Yeah,
be a big difference.
that's
Yeah.
that's really good. So build relationships and also empower your team. Because we have this thing where, like you mentioned before, we're always hiding, how we sell. We don't want our team to know, or our team members, so that they don't copy and they
Mm,
won't be better than us. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just a type of shallow mindset where we think that we must always be best at everything. So
yep, yep.
it's really bad. So I have a
Okay,
question
so
from,
yeah,
okay, yeah,
Esther, I think, asked a question. She
yeah, okay,
said, where is it? I've missed
okay.
it though.
Okay, I think I can see Vivian's own. Let's start with Vivian. Then I
Okay,
think Esther's own is down. So Vivian
okay.
says, "I'm the MD of my organization. Currently, the Nigerian economy has an adverse effect on businesses. How do you retain staff members, and what can a business do differently to remain afloat?" This question is like one of the biggest. As a recruiter, my clients are always asking me, how do you keep them? So over to you. Like, we all want to hear the answers to this question.
I think that the first thing, and this is my view, is to realize that the world, people are going to go. You can't compete with the dollar.
Mm,
That's just a fact. When clients call me, so the core of the work I do, Ima, is remuneration advisory.
mm,
Interestingly, is
oh,
salary
wow.
advisory. That's the core of the work I've done for the last 15 years. Okay. So when clients call me and say, Nick, I say to them, first things first, eh? If it's a younger brother that came to you and told you that he's got a job earning dollars, will you tell him to stay in the company or will you tell him to go?
No, you tell
So
them to
everybody like,
go.
Nick and Nawa. I'm like, but it's the truth. So my answer to that is, first of all, like I said, that's a reality that you're living in. The
Mm-hmm.
second thing is systemize your processes such
Yeah.
that people don't move with knowledge and expertise. Do what you can to systemize. When we do this, we do one, two,
Two.
three, four to
Beautiful.
get to the answer. Invest in that. Okay. Then
So,
openness is important. Everybody wants to jackpot, but everybody will not go. I say to my
mm-hmm.
team, for example, I didn't plan to work in the big four for 15 years. That wasn't my plan. At different points in the journey, I've tried to leave. It just didn't work out. Either I didn't get the role I wanted or the salary didn't make sense. But the truth is, if my employer now said they will not invest in me all these years, who lose? I'm still here. So you've got to teach people what you know, empower them, okay? Show them the ropes, let them know what to do, all right? Be open with them, let them understand how the business is growing, okay? Give them a why that is beyond the salary that they're earning.
Mm,
Give them a why that is beyond the salary that they're earning. And the truth is, as a business person, you need to ask yourself, what can I do differently to make more money? That's the truth. I won't even lie to you. I've said to myself recently as a business person, I mean, because as a big four, consulting, you're already bringing in money, you're bringing business at this level. I'm like, okay, what else can we do to bring in money? When I'm giving somebody a bill, I'm thinking dollar rate is not the same thing as last year. Even I'm billing you in naira. How far?
mm,
Then finally, to answer this question, you must communicate value. Let your clients feel like what they get from you is nowhere else they can get it.
mm-hmm.
Communicate value so thoroughly. Like, let your solutions be so bespoke and customized. They know that when they are
Yeah.
talking to you, and trust me, again, Ima, as a Christian, I will say this. Sometimes it's not a lot of things. It's just to pray. You get one idea. One thing you tell that person, the
Mm-hmm.
person feels like this was only for me and customized for me and nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. I don't care whether
Yeah.
I'm selling a product or not. The ideas abound.
Yeah.
So don't come at your business with a closed mindset. Come at it with a place of there's one idea that I will do that will change everything. And
Mm-hmm.
I become competition to myself alone.
That's true. Wow, that's really a good one. And when you said like systems, input systems and the processes in your business, like that's my forte. And a lot of Nigerians still struggle with that. Funnily, is the bigger companies that tend to do it, and smaller companies that need to do it think that they don't have enough staff to be able to put their process. Look, like you start from when it's you alone. That way, as people join, you're just sharing with them the information of how things are done. I don't
Mhm.
know. One of these days, we will be able to open the brain of many African and Nigerian business owners and put it inside that without your processes and systems, it's just a matter of time you are going down.
Yep.
I don't know. People, I don't know which other way to say it, but that's just the truth. It's just
Very
the truth.
true. Very true.
It's just the truth. Okay, so we have Esther's question here.
Yeah.
It said, how do we get financial education?
Okay, so what I would say, two things. As a leader, you either bring it up if you're in HR to your people to say, find someone. I know that there are many trustee companies. I do it, but again, it's very checkered because I still have a full-time job. So they has to be well arranged. I provide financial education to companies and all of that. And
Mhm.
then you can get all these trustee companies. Some of them do those type of things as well. I find that it's becoming a big deal in the US, right? I saw a research that said that 51%, I believe, of employees believe that their employer is obligated to teach them about finances. A research showed that. Yes, so I was shocked when I found out
Mm.
that, and
Okay.
I've seen that Fortune 500 companies are intentionally investing in the financial education of their employees. Some people have a financial coach on their payroll that can help people walk through budgeting, help people get out of debt. You know, there's a credit economy now, so get
Yeah.
out of debt, control, put boundaries. I mean, as simple as you ask questions around social media, follow people who educate your brain and not people who pressure you to spend.
Yeah.
There are people that I have been intentional about unfollowing. Every time I see their page, I'm like, that's a new cloth too. That's it. Mm-mm. Once it starts
Pressure.
happening, unfollow. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. I only if like I said, when I shop online, in fact, the time I used to buy meat online, it's like the most domestic stuff that would go and buy in the market. That I don't like going to the market. I don't. So anybody that should pressure to spend is me. I don't like going to the market. But what do I do? When it's time to, I know that okay, I want to buy one dress. One dress. I will check this page. I won't follow. This page, this page. Which one do I want? This one I want to buy. I pay for it and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gone. So every time I pick Instagram, I'm seeing your post and I'm pressure. Bring out money, bring out money. The other thing I will say to you for financial education is in your savings, keep money away from you. Keep
Mm.
money away from you. Keep money in accounts without internet banking, without ATM. I have accounts like
Mm.
that. So when you come to me and ask me, I say I don't have, I really don't have because is either I go to the bank
Mm-hmm.
and feel I actually don't have access to it.
Mm. That's
You
a
must
good
be
one.
intentional about your money. Like I said, money is you see currency. When they say when they see transformer and they put do not come near, that's how you should put in your money. Money is that powerful. And money doesn't stay where it's not respected.
Yeah.
It won't stay.
Mm.
It won't stay where it's not respected. So I hope that helps you, Esther.
Yeah, that even me, like immediately you just said, empower your team to with financial education. I'm like, okay, what's the next thing we're going to do? Because look, we cannot even run away from it. Think we should be even grateful that the team is still with us because there are better opportunities out there. Like even if you're paying 10 million naira, somebody is looking for, like they're always looking for
Yeah,
more
yep.
people to better places to go to. So we should be grateful that they are with us. So if that's the little thing we can do to keep them staying with us, then by all means we should.
Yeah, I remember a
Uh
small business owner that
yeah.
reached out to me and said, Neka, I can't, work and I went, I talked to her team. There are no more than 10
Mm-hmm.
people. Small
Yeah.
team,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But those things make a difference. Your team, they feel like you see them and you value them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. So Esther is asking, what are exam you should give
I think
example of those we should follow on social media. Oh yeah.
yeah, I try to answer that. Follow those that add to you mentally,
Yeah.
right? Those are
Yeah.
the people you should follow. Follow the people that inspire your faith, whatever faith it is that you are. Follow people that
Yeah.
inspire your faith, right? Follow people that will challenge you to be more. There's a difference between someone challenging you to be more and someone who where you read and it makes you feel small.
Mm-hmm.
Who
True.
challenge you to be
That's very
more
true.
versus people who make you feel small. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so the when you say follows, she said follow people who empower you. That's in a nutshell, that's what she's saying. So follow Neka. Neka is the happy employee coach
Employee
on
coach. Yes.
yes, the happy employee coach on Instagram. And she said also about following people who stimulate your faith. Like in this time, I feel like it's pretty hard that you need some faith connection to just stay sane. So instead of focusing on how crazy it is right now, while you're doing the work, be holding the helm of his garment. And anybody that helps you just stay in that place where you're believing and, trusting that the end of the day is going to be better, please just hold on to that. I have a question again. She says, "Hello, Neka. I checked up on Google and realized you are." I'm saying
Actually,
it.
okay, so our work culture is crazy. Let me just tell you up front. We work
Yeah.
crazy hours. As I'm here on my, I just saw an email from a team member, right?
Mm-hmm.
Flash. What I say to my team, and you can,
Mm-hmm.
anybody that you know there, you can ask them, is as long as you're available out there, we work for you to do. You have to set the boundaries,
Yeah.
right? I tell my team this. As long as you're available, I'll give you, there's work for you to do. You have to set the boundaries. So, which is why I tell them things like, I am going to church. So they also know that they can
Mm,
tell me that they are going to church. Oh, I have, they know,
mm,
my in the, what I do is public. So people see me speaking engagements and all. So that you know that that I go for speaking and my weekend is not free. So sometimes we
mm.
have to work weekends. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But more often than not, I'll tell them. I still sent some people an email yesterday. Don't do this work over the weekend. Leave it till Monday. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you
a good
understand?
boss.
So the work culture in KPMG is crazy.
Mm,
And it's human beings in there as well. It's human beings as well.
yeah,
So our own backgrounds also affect how we show up for our teams. If you are a leader that doesn't know how to speak up, you will not enable your team to speak up as well. It's
that's
just
true.
what it is going to happen. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
intentional about telling my team how to speak up as well. Do you
Uh,
understand? I hope that helps you.
yeah.
I know your name is iPhone 8 Plus. I hope that helps you to understand the question.
Yeah, I think that's Vivian. I think it's Vivian that. Okay, yes,
Okay.
you mentioned, the team culture and or work culture and all, but in terms of improving employee morale, what are the little things that can do? Yes, financial education and all, and some people do team building, but now it may cost money. But are there other things? Are there other simpler ways to like help improve team morale? Because a lot of people, their morale is tied to their finances, and the finances are crazy. So, what are the little things that people can do to improve team
So
morale
I would
now?
say to a team leader, right,
Mm-hmm.
that team bonding doesn't have to be expensive and outside the office. It can be
Okay.
as simple as we buy ice cream and we take it together in the office.
Okay.
It could be as simple as, you guys, let's just do exercise together and dance. Those are little things that you can do. The other thing I would say to you as an employee, right, to boost
Mm-hmm.
your morale is to find other reasons for things you are grateful for at that job. Find other skill
Mm,
sets and things you can learn at that job. For me, for example, knowing that my job provides me and has provided me opportunity to meet people in different kinds of rooms. What that has done for me is I appreciate my job better. Do you understand? So I am more conscious and aware of the benefits of this job because with this job, I'm able to be in different kinds of rooms. So I may not earn all that, right? I mean, when I see, like I said, the core of my work is HR advisory. I may not earn
yeah.
all that, but so I see people's salary, I see people's money, and love anyone and me. But I know for sure that I am meeting people, and that is pushing my profile up. All right.
Mm,
I know for sure that this writing, I'm writing books and stuff, is based on. Yesterday, I was in the car with my husband and he was asking me something and I was typing and looking at him. He said, you're typing and not looking at your laptop. I say, boss, more than half my day is spent typing. So I can just type and go and go and go. So I would say,
yeah.
and then engage with people. Be someone that your team can come to you and share when stuff is going on. I can't emphasize it enough. You may
Yeah.
not get it from everybody, but just be someone that people have that sense that you're invested in them, that you want them to be better. Be intentional about it. Those are the things that I would say you should do. Financial
Yeah.
education, I mean, I tell people just follow me on social media. By reading all the things I'm posting, you can teach your team.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to invite me, that's fine. But just by reading everything I am teaching, you can take it and teach your team. I have people who have not paid for any of my classes or anything who have sent me emails to say, because you said this, I did it, and this is what happened to me. So be intentional. Look for pages, look for resources, and share with your team so they feel that sense like you want them to grow.
Yeah. Ah. Thank you so much, Nneka. Do you know, I didn't know that the time had gone so far, and you have another engagement. Please forgive me. I wasn't paying attention to the time. So I want to thank you so much for, taking out this weekend of yours to come speak to us. We really appreciate it. And yes, we've learned a lot, improving communication and helping to improve our finances too, and just being stable in this, economic
Environment,
situation
yeah.
that we all find ourselves in. So I want to appreciate you. And guys, please, type in the chat to just appreciate. I know a lot of people have already done that, but I just want to reiterate again, thank you so much, Nneka, for
Thank you
being
for
here with
having
us
me.
today. We really had an amazing time. So thank you,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
thank
And sorry, I really have liked to stay for more Q&A, but the other people are, are waiting for me already.
you. Yes, we
Thank you, everyone,
understand.
and take care. Bye.
We will. Thank you. Bye. So, guys, Nneka really did a good one, and I don't want to take much of your time. So, what we usually do for networking is it'll be nice for you to state your name, what you do, and your Instagram handle. So I can go take a look at it and read it out so everybody hears. And the good thing about it is we still get to post this on our social media and our YouTube. So not only the number of people here that get to see you and know what you do, but also the people that get to watch the replay of this session. So please go ahead and drop a chat, your name, what you do, and how we can connect with you. If you have a product, you can also share a bit about the product, and I'll read it out to everybody's hearing. Yeah. So please don't just run off. Please just drop your comments and I'll read it before we log off. Again, this is our business conversation series by EdgeEcution. The idea is to put an edge to you as an employee to help you stand above your peers, or to put an edge to you as a business owner to help you also make more money and be better than your competition out there. Of course, we always require partners. So for instance, we handle training, coaching, manpower development, recruitment, and all of that. And if you have um, clients or opportunities that you want to share with us, we have a partnership link. I think Tonia has already put it in the chat box, or you can send an email to us at info@edgeecution or Antonia at edgeecution.com. I'm not sure I got that right, but Tonia, please drop your email in the chat session so that people can reach out to you. We've had Esther on this call, and she's been gracious to put up her video. So I don't know, Esther, it would be nice if you can tell us what you do instead of me reading it out since you're already here. It would be nice for you to do that. So please go ahead, Esther. Please, please, please. Okay, we cannot hear you. Oh, what's going on? Can you check your volume? Is rather low. Everything looks okay. Oh my. I don't know, but we can't hear you at all. Oh. And you're not muted because I can see. Ah, wow. Oh my. This is where they say village people. Okay. We're holding on for you. So guys, while Esther is sharing with us what she does, please, please don't just run away. Let's know what you do. Let's share it with the world, so that people can connect with you. And if you're here and you're looking for a job or interested in working, we also have opportunities. We recruit, so there are many opportunities out there. Even before we get to post it on LinkedIn or any of our job boards, please, you can send your resume or the resume of someone you know. We're always looking for salespeople and business development people, administrative people, operations people in tech. And also, please feel free to send your resume to recruitment@edgeecution.com. So, Esther, are you ready for us?
Is it better now?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Sorry, I just switched devices. Good
Okay.
evening. I've had an awesome time this evening. Thank you so much. I think it's my first time here. I just got the email. I don't even know how I got it, but I just thought, let me just see what's going on. So I'm a nurse, but I'm thinking of leaving my job and starting my own business. So I've just
Good.
started, but I'm waiting for some approvals here and there before I start fully, which is why this was very helpful for me. So I am an employee and an employer to be. So yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
That's amazing. And you're in the right place. You know, we also have our lead coach, Steve Harris, who isn't on the call at the moment. So he coaches business owners. He has a signature course, Mastering the Business of Your Talent. It's slightly late now because we're currently running that at the moment. So it runs for about 6 weeks. But we're here, and you know, if you need idea, I'm sure he's able to, because you're here, I'm sure we can sneak in like a 15 minutes free advice. Yeah, you've been here, so your family now. So I will make sure to look out for the information. So you can just reply to the email you got whenever you're ready, and we can twist him to give you like a 15 minutes consultation
Thank
session.
you
He's
very
one
much.
of the best that I know, not just because I'm married to him, but he's helped thousands of business owners. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Really
thank you so
appreciate
much
it.
for being
Thanks.
here. We appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess there are lots of shy people here, but anyways, thank you for coming. And I think we can do one more thing. If you feel like you were not able to put, you know, what you do and who you are, you can send us an email. Maybe we'll do like an appreciation post where we can put it on our LinkedIn handle so that people can see what you do, just to appreciate you for taking your Saturday to spend time with us. So guys, we've come to the end of this session. Please send us an email, and we'll send you an email also when the recording is ready and on YouTube. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day, and have a good one. So bye from me. All right.